Shalom. Call Haloyamla Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahweh Shai, Brakta Racha Kodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Shalom and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Akwath of the hopeful elect. Shalom. Just want to go into a quick video entitled World Events Updates. There's a article here. I can leave the link to the article in the comment section. It's from the site naturalnews.com. Just going into, this is one of those, alternative media sites that brings out, key facts that's not really talked on the mainstream, right? But just want to go down here. I saw these bullet points, and it was just bringing out precepts. That's basically a summary of everything that's happening right now. So read the bullet points, get precepts, link them together. These are just, this is an article that I'm reading from, and I'm bringing out facts, bringing out precepts from the Bible. So no misinformation to those that may want to try and claim such statements. But so we'll start to hear this first bullet point. It says, starvation as a weapon now being deployed by Israel to, you see that, to delete more Palestinians. So that is as I brought out in a video previous, that's a tactic of the Edomites, and we'll get that real quick. In the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 20. And this is Yahweh Shah speaking. This was the prophecy of that he gave to the Jews, talking about the Roman Edomite armies. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And that's the prophecy of the abomination of desolation and make it desolate. I believe that's the roughly paraphrasing, and I think it's Daniel, in the book of Daniel chapter 9, and the great siege that was going to befall Jerusalem for being wicked. And that was the great diaspora. And what happened, that's why it's important to understand history and understand what happened in the history, and you can understand the mystery of the future, of the prophecies. Because nations have particular characteristics and spiritual traits. And so this is a tactic. It's a war tactic as well. It's a great tactic to destroy a nation by, cutting off their borders and placing in an embargo, which is a blockade of allowing any aid to go inside, any aid or food or water to go in or out of a nation, to starve them out. And that's what the Romans did to Jerusalem during the time of 70 AD, which is known as in history as the Roman-Jewish Wars, the Jewish-Roman Wars. But actually it's the Jews and the Roman Wars. And so that in particular happening over here. That's what the little hats are doing to, Hamas over there in Gaza, blockading it and surrounding it, not allowing anything to go in there, just bare minimum. And there's reports of, hospitals haven't had power over there for over a week or two. And so yeah, there's just a lot going on, Can't speak on everything because they'll try to censor and hate on the information that's being brought out. But so we go to the second bullet point. Atrocities are being committed on purpose to enrage the Arab world. We see there's been protests all over the planet now with pro-Palestinian people and groups, the race, the Muslims, and even on college campuses here in the universities here in America, Babylon the Great. And they've even had one group got expelled or got banned from the campus because they were pro-Palestinians. So, and this is all biblical prophecy, and also, it's propagated and it's intentionally done and committed because the elites that run everything behind the scenes is wanting the chaos and everything to usher in this that's part of the process of the NWO that's about to come to a head. So they're doing this on purpose. So why would they be doing it on purpose? The Most High, He put spirits upon nations, and because the heart of the king is in the hand of the Most High, and He stir it whithersoever he will, right? And so ultimately, it's the Most High igniting everything because it's time to bring judgments down upon the earth to usher in the kingdom of heaven. And Israel, they instigating this on purpose, so-called, it's the little hats. They're not the real Israel. But going to Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh and Bahashem Yahushai that He hath taken against Edom. So this is the counsel of the Most High and the prophecies coming to pass, and His purposes that He hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. You see, it says that they're doing it on purpose. Well, this is the purpose of the Most High. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and that's going into the little hats, drawing out all these nations. Because is it a coincidence that all of a sudden, after the river Euphrates, now that it's dried up, now that the way is prepared for the kings of the militaries of the earth, now all of this is occurring now, right? The war in the air, and everyone gearing up for battle. It's not a coincidence. Surely He shall make their habitations desolate with them. So who's the least of the flock? The little hats, because they are backed by their military muscle of the whore, Babylon the Great America. And that's a further proof that these aren't the true people. Because why? That the little hats aren't the true people of the Most High, because they're using man as their defense. The defense comes from the almighty power. Jeremiah 17:5 speaks about, woe unto them that put their trust in Babylon, or to go down to Egypt. Oh, let's just go ahead and get it so I won't butcher it. Jeremiah 17:5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusted in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord Yahweh. Because Scripture says pride, the beginning of pride is when one depart from his maker. So they're trusting in they're trusting in man, because that's their pride, and that's their deception, because it's the greatest hoax in the history of mankind. The fact that they have another nation as their big brother defending them and with military might, because our help comes from above, not man's military strength from their own hand. So the little hats have made man their arm, their defense and protection, right? So going to the next bullet point, it says, Salaki says, the U.S. is willing to sacrifice the little hats to expand war to ensnare Iran. So they're just they're all because the so-called the Edomites, so-called white race, they're the spirit that was in the serpent from the garden. It's the same spirit in that nation today. So there's no honor amongst thieves. They're all thieves, the identity thieves, land thieves, people, and slave driver thieves, right? So it's saying that they're willing to risk, that the Babylon, the whore, America is willing to risk sacrifice the little hats. There's no such thing as sacrificing the true people of the Lord. That shows you right there. Further, the more time reveals these prophecies and the actions of these nations, further proves just how much they are not of who they are and who they are not, So the U.S. is willing to, right there, say sacrifice the little hats to expand war to ensnare Iran. See, they're trying to circumvent and overcome the biblical prophecies because Iran are the modern day Persians, and their ally is who? The bear, the modern day Medes, the Russians. They can ensnare Iran because their big brother, their protector, their military defense is the bear Russia. They're delusional and thinking they're going to do anything to maintain their stranglehold on the earth, and that's not going to occur. They're willing to sacrifice their own people. So Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 and verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. So he can't take pleasure in his goods. He's always looking to do what? War. And if a people and allies are willing to sacrifice their allies, they're being evil to themselves, and they're the same nation ultimately, right? So to whom shall he be good? And everyone sees this, and they see the treachery of the whore, and that just goes more into this anger of the nations against the whore. Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, that goes into the original 10 common market nations, the allies, the treaty of NATO and the EU. These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So that's going into the allies of the whore sees how treacherous the whore is dealing with the other allies within their alliance. And that's going to just further aid and fuel that hate and anger toward the whore. And the other nations are already, that are not allies, economically like that, their hate and anger is already roused up, and then they're going to defect. The allies up to the whore is going to defect and go to the other side with the bear Russia and link up with them. And this is all just further fuel to it by people saying that, hey, they sacrificing their own allies. They sacrificing our allies, and there's no loyalty with this whore, because a whore is what going to this person and going to that person, and there's no loyalty at all. So it says, so the next one we'll go to 1, 2, 3. It says new GOP House Speaker. Little hats first, America last. So I would need to go into a little bit more on that to see what that new that GOP means, Grand Old Party, the Republican Party here in America. So I'll have to get more information on that, but he's claiming that they're first and America last, but Israel, they have all the money, and America last. So I guess, not guess, but in the spirit, they're putting the little hats first and protecting them in all things, as they always do. But that's just the serpent just defending each other and in their pact. So the next bullet point, it says food aid giant accuses the little hats of committing Holodomor against Palestinians. So we'll go ahead and get that real quick. So let's see what a Holodomor is. I just went ahead and looked it up and took a screenshot earlier. It says Holodomor. It says the Holodomor was also known as the Great Ukrainian Famine, was a man-made famine in Soviet Ukraine from 1932 to 1933 that killed millions of Ukrainians. The Holodomor was part of the wider Soviet famine of 1930 through 33, which affected the major grain-producing areas of the Soviet Union. So it's going to a famine that happened it was a great Ukrainian famine. So a food aid giant is accusing the Little Hats of doing that to the Palestinians, committing a great famine over it. And that's going into what? That sieging and that compassing, that's their tactics. They starving out people to get what they want, to destroy, going above and beyond, way further than what they should, and they just created their excuse. That's their excuse to go ahead and be merciless against them. Let's see, we have a precept on that. So what all this further doing is what is steadily ramping up and building up the tension, which is going to lead to everyone flocking down to the valley of Yehoshaphat, the valley of Yahweh's decision. So Revelation 16 and verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. So you have to stay circumspect and stay vigilant and continue to watch and filter these prophecies through the scriptures and see how far we are and how far we've come along and how close we are to the return of Yahushua. Verse 16, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. So all of these events, that's where it's ultimately leading up to. The Most High is gathering up mustering up the host of the battle. And this is just further escalation into what? The Battle of Armageddon, World War III. And we'll get the translation comparison here in verse 15 for the NLT, New Living Translation. It says, look, I will come as unexpectedly as a thief. Blessed are all who are watching for me, who keep their clothing ready, so they will not have to walk around naked and ashamed. So that's going into everyone needing to be paying attention and staying vigilant and watching, because and keeping your garments. How you keep your garments? By keeping the commandments, rehearsing the commandments, and keeping them clean and keeping them in good condition and being in good standing with the Most High for when He return. And then if not, you'll be exposed for judgment, and shame going to cover you, and then you'll be a part of the 2/3 that's going to have that shame, for not keeping their garments on this side. So now we'll go to the next bullet point here. It says, USA cannot legally supply weapons if the Little Hats uses them to attack civilians. So they say that they legally cannot provide them with weapons, but we know that Esau Edom is the most lawless, disorderly man on earth. So whatever fits their belly, that's what they're going to do. Yeah, of course, legally, they say legally they can't if they're going to use them on civilians, but they've already been doing things to the civilians. So we'll get Psalms 55 and verse 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. That's going to making their legal covenants and treaties, right? He hath broken his covenant. So the Native American Indians, so-called, that's on reservations, know all too well about breaking his covenant or the peace treaties, right? And then also when Bush wanted to go ahead and go into Iraq, I believe, with Iraq, for those quote unquote weapons of mass destruction that they never found, that was never there. And they have particular checks and balances and laws in place through the United Nations of what they can and can't do in times of war like this and attacks of nation against nation. And then they told Bush not go inside of Iraq and to go into that war. And what did Bush turn around and tell them of the United Nations, the Council? He told them, if you're not with me, you're against me, right? So we know that they don't care about any laws and any kind of legalities, because they're going to break and do whatever they want. Because why? Esau Edom's, his belly is his law. Whatever he wants to do from his own mind, that's what he's going to fulfill, no matter what laws he break. Because the scripture spoke of what? The prophecy in Genesis, I believe, chapter 4, a fugitive and a vagabond he shall be. What's a fugitive? One that escapes punishment from his crimes. And so that's what he is. He's a perpetual vagabond and a perpetual fugitive until the Most High go ahead and bring him down. Okay, so the next one here says, many young Jews are getting red-pilled and realizing they were brainwashed. So it says, heard about seen one article about the Little Hats. I think they was in a New York university, and they had to take refuge inside of a cafeteria or inside of a library, as Palestinian supporters were banging on the doors and windows, I believe, saying "Free Palestine," something like that. And then in the still shot picture, they just looked like they were confused or nervous, at the protest from the. So it's a clash going on all over the country, throughout the country and throughout the entire earth. It's even worse over there, on the other side, the east side over there, the eastern parts of the earth. So they're coming into realization that they've been told a lot of misinformation about themselves and about society and existence, and so they're starting to get hit with the reality. And that red pill goes into the movie The Matrix, when the character that Lawrence Fishburne played, he had the red pill and he had the blue pill, and he told the main character, Keanu Reeves, that he could take the blue pill and then go back to his Babylonian brainwashed society and understanding in his life, his brainwashed life, and go on and just until he die. And then if you take the red pill, then he'll show him how far the rabbit hole goes, and then the truth of reality. And so now those little hats, the younger generation, all of them really, but especially the younger ones, they're starting to get hit with the harsh dose of reality, the sobering truth of what reality truly is, and the hardships that's coming down because of the lies of their forefathers. Revelations 2:9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. So our tribulations and our poverty are the Israelites over here in captivity in Babylon the Great, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. And we're economically and financially, we're oppressed here and in slavery still, right? It's just a crafty oppression and slavery. But we're rich, how? Through our spirit and the kingdom of heaven to come. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So this goes into Israelites that are John 8:44. They're of their father the devil, who are the Edomites that put them in their place and power, and they call themselves Israelites and Jews, but they have the spirit of the serpent. But then also it spans, it goes even deeper too, when you can apply it to those claiming it today, but they're not. And then they're getting hit, and the young little hats are getting hit with the hard truth of the brainwashing that they've believed all their lives, and their pride too, because these people are very arrogant and proud, and that doesn't embody what a true Israelite's supposed to be. Supposed to be the greatest men, the greatest Israelites are the most humble and the most meek, not proud. So right here it says Turkey threatens to go to war with Israel, and again that goes into the least of the flock, the little hats, shall draw them out. This is just yet another nation that's going to wage, another nation, the latest one that's rising up and speaking about how they're going to do something to the little hats. And then also they already know that their whore that backs them with the military might, Babylon, America, is going to jump right in. But they have their big brother too, Russia, to defend them and back them. This is just ramping up and more escalation. Every nation over there in the Far East hates the whore, and they're rising up, and they're tired of everything that this whore is doing. Okay. So in the next one here, it says Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declares speech criticizing the little hats is illegal. So what Bible verse is that? So any speech criticizing the little hats, so no matter if it's righteous or no matter if it's wicked, if you say anything about it, it's illegal. What Bible verse is that? That's men creating their own precepts. That's wicked to say. So basically, a little hat person can commit a sin and a crime and kill somebody, and if you speak on it, it's illegal. No, you don't have a license to be wicked and to not be called out on it. That's pure filthiness, and it's an abomination. So they're creating laws to protect themselves, and that's further proof of just how wicked and how anti-truth these people truly are. Because we're at in the scriptures at any time in the history of all nations, have nations defended and protected the real Israelites. So right here in 2 Maccabees 6:6, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So it was illegal. It was illegal for an Israelite to call himself a Jew, but now all of a sudden it's a complete opposite. See how this society directly contradicts the Holy Scriptures, and there's nothing new under the sun. The Most High changed not. So the heathen nations always hated the Jews and the Israelites. So why all of a sudden, a known enemy in the past, now all of a sudden a heathen nation creating laws that calls out sins and crimes of the Jews? It just doesn't add up. They don't fit anything according to on the right hand side of the biblical prophecies and the biblical genetic bloodline Israelites. So Romans 2:11. For there is no respect of persons with Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. And this is showing clear respect of persons, because even if it's something wicked, no matter what it is, good, evil, and bad, if you say something about it, it's illegal. That's totally against Holy Scriptures. That's a respect of persons, and the Most High don't respect men. And the Most High says to not have that respect for people, but do what the Most High says. according to his laws, statutes, and commandments, you filter life and existence and men's deeds according to the law. Because the law, the totality of the law, is being a brother towards your brother, being civilized and at peace with them. And if you're doing something wicked, you're being at war with them. And if you call it out, it's not illegal, it's lawful. So let's see, Deuteronomy 16 and it was something I was wanting to get. Oh man, okay. Verse 19, thou shalt not wrest judgment, meaning you shall not wrestle judgment away. Saying it's illegal to call out anything about little hats, that's wresting judgment. They're wrestling judgment away. Thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift, for a gift doeth blind the eyes of the wise, and pervert the words of the righteous. And what's righteous? The law. Those that know the law, and those that will speak out according to the law. So they're perverting and wrestling. They're perverting judgment. They're wrestling judgment, and they're just perverting the righteousness that's supposed to be the staple in our lives. So to say that speaking out against wickedness is illegal is proving that what they respect persons, and they're not of the Most High but of Satan, and that they're not the true people. So we'll go from there to Acts 5 and 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, rather than men. And then we'll get one more here. It says, admin Kirby admits innocent civilians will be deleted in Gaza. So gotta watch certain wording, but so innocent civilians. So that's an Babylonian, so-called American over here, Edomite. He's saying that innocent civilians will be deleted over there, based on Muslims. So they expect that. So let me get this article here. I took a screenshot of it. Let me see. So it says Kirby, it's the same guy. Kirby warns to expect more civilian casualties. And you see that over in Gaza as little hats targets. You see the name there? Quote unquote, this is war. So right there it says White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby warned that more civilian casualties in Gaza should be expected as Little Hats continues its campaign against Hamas. So that's not supposed to just go around slaughtering innocent people, right? What's righteous about that? Because the Little Hats, they're waging that war against them, and they have their excuse now. And all of this doing is just going to ramp up World War III, and that's the prophecy of Jeremiah 49:20, that the least of the flock is going to draw them out. Draw who out? All the armies to the valley of Yahweh's judgment, also known as Jehoshaphat, right? And then that's the Battle of Armageddon. Proverbs 27 and 5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. So, well, I think I had that actually that precept was for the other one about, it's illegal to call out anything wicked. So open rebuke is better than secret love. And that's basically what they're doing, having secret love and pacts and not openly rebuking each other because they're defending and protecting one another in their wickedness. But yeah, so those are the latest updates, and those are bullet points I want to go into. So things are just continuously ramping up to that World War III, and everything's moving real fast. It's moving at a very fast pace now. The Most High is shortening the days for the elect's sake, so we won't be destroyed with all of the wickedness that's going on throughout the earth. So with that being said, hope this video was edifying. Till next video, I say, Shalom.